In the last video, I told you about 5 things that helped me during my spiritual awakening. And in this video, I'm going to cover 5 more. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Awakened Reality, and you are with Krishwan. And in the last video I talked about 5 things that helped me during my spiritual awakening, and today I'm going to cover 5 more things that helped me during my spiritual awakening. So number one is EFT. EFT is emotional freedom technique, super effective process. It's just relieving your stress in about like 7 minutes. It's to like relieve your stress from the body immediately, as like to give you a quick relief of the stress in your body. And you can use it using this technique called EFT, which is called emotional freedom technique. I also have a video of EFT that I've made. I'll put it in the links below, and you can also Google EFT and check it out. And what EFT is basically that it contains these pressure points, and it's pretty much like acupuncture you're doing to your body. You're tapping your body and you're actually like talking to your body during this acupuncture process. You're literally talking to the cells in your body, and you're telling the cells in your body that even though this problem is there that you have, you love and accept yourself, and so you're letting go of the problem. So you're literally talking to the cells of your body, and you're tapping these cells so that the energy that is stored inside these cells comes out and is released. What is this energy that is stored inside the cells? Stress. Yep, stress. What happens when we go out and we feel we come under situations that causes us stress? This unwanted energy gets stuck onto our body in different parts, and it's like a heavy feeling that we have. We don't notice it because we are walking with it, we are with it. But when you do the process, you'll feel a lot lighter after you do the process, and then you'll realize, oh wow, I actually feel light after doing this EFT like for about 2-3 times. That's because the energy that is stored in these pressure points are being released, and you're talking to these cells, telling them that even though the problem is this, I love and accept myself, and so I let go of the problem, and hence please release this energy. You don't have to hold this energy in your body anymore, so let's go. And then you feel that lightness. Okay, so there's EFT. And EFT has these pressure points, like it starts with like your hand, and then you go to your head, and then you go above your eyebrows, to the side of it, on the temple, below your eyebrows, above the lip, below the lip, and then that's above the chin right there, and then on the shoulders, then on the sides, and then on the wrists. These are all the pressure points. And what you do is, as you tap them, you keep telling them, even though the problem, let's say, even though my boss was angry with me, okay, which caused you probably stress, even though my boss is angry with me, I love and accept myself, and hence I let go because it doesn't benefit me. So you do it like you tap and you close your eyes and you say, even though my boss is angry with me, I love and accept myself, and I let go of the situation because it does not benefit me. Like that, you keep doing that. Even though my boss is angry with me, I love and accept myself, and I let go of the situation because the situation does not benefit me. So you go like that, and you do it in all these pressure points. You keep tapping, and you do it about like 2 cycles, 3 cycles, depending on your happiness level. Before you do it, you want to rate yourself as to, like, on a scale of 2 to 10, how are you about the situation. Then after you do the first cycle, you again rate yourself. If it was 2 first out of 10, then it became 4 out of 10, then you can do it one more time, it becomes 6 out of 10, then you can do it one more time, it becomes 8 out of 10. So you feel much lighter, and at about like 8 out of 10, you feel like you've let go of the problem. The problem is like kind of like you really don't care about the problem, because you've talked to your body cells and you've told your body cells that I love myself more than the problem itself, and so I can let go of it and it doesn't have to cause any stress. EFT has been super useful for me. EFT has been super useful for the people I've taught it to, and this is definitely a technique that you should check out. Okay, Google it and check it out. On my video itself, I made a video about this a while ago, and last year really, and I'll put the links in the description box below. You can check it out. Also, for the pressure points, you can Google EFT and go to Google Images and type EFT, and there'll be a lot of images that show the pressure points, and I explain it in my video as well. That is EFT, something you should definitely check out. Number 2 is crystals. Okay, so I'm gonna give you this little story that happened in my life. I'm gonna tell you this little story, and it was when I actually was walking on the street in US. It was very negative at that point of time. I was walking, and then I was walking, and I used to see tarot readings at that point. I just came to the understanding that everything is energy, and I was seeking to earth, air, water, fire, these 4 elements as well. And so I was walking down the street, and then I suddenly look up and there's a tarot sign, and I'm like, okay, fine. But then I feel something called, something wanted me to go towards the tarot sign. So I went to the tarot sign, and I went to the door, knocked at the door, and then I got a reading for her. I got a monthly tarot reading from that lady. And then I told that lady actually, I felt intuitively that she had something more to offer me, and I told her, hey, you have something more to give me. And then she said, okay, come back in the evening with some money. And so I did come back with some money, and then she gave me she didn't give me, she wrote my name, whatever. She kind of did an energy healing session on me that night, and the next day morning, I didn't even know. And the next day morning, I went back to her, and she gave me a crystal. Now coming to the crystal, she gave me the crystal, and she told me to keep it in my pocket, and she told me not to show it to anybody for like about 15 days or more, or until somebody saw it, or I felt that its use was over. And what a crystal does, okay, a crystal, in that case, what it did was, in that 15 days, it actually switched its energy with me. It was positive energy, I was negative energy, and I was getting its positive energy, and it was taking away my negative energy into its being, its crystal form. And this is very common, and especially if you use a big crystal, it can switch out your energy. Many crystals can block negative energy. Different crystals have different purposes. How this understanding of crystals is that crystals are taken up from rocks, right? And they are directly from the earth. So when they are from the earth, when they're taken from these rocks, they are so damn pure. They are very, very pure. And so when they're taken up from the earth, this pure energy actually mixes with our energy. Just like how if you find a high vibrational person mixing with a low vibrational person, you'll notice that the low vibrational person wants energy from the high vibrational person. High vibrational person does not want to interact with the low vibrational person because he feels like he's going down. A positive person and a negative person, when they mix together, a negative person likes to be in the positive person's area of thinking. I mean, the negative person likes to be with the positive person because he's getting free energy from the positive person. Positive person wants to run away because they feel that their energy level is going down being with the negative person. Just like that, a crystal also contains this tremendous amount of positive energy and pure energy more than anything else. And luckily the crystal doesn't have any emotions and anything to deal with, so it's a part of the earth, and it's like a natural healing element. So you can, and different crystals have different purposes. One can be for love, another one can be for abundance, another one can be to block negative energy. There's black tourmaline, which is to block negative energy, which I've used before. I've used selenite, that as well. It's there. And the crystal I got, I really don't know the name. She never mentioned the name. and I really don't know what I really didn't know what it was. But this is how crystals work. So crystals are pure essence of earth energy, and when you have it onto you, they give their energy to you, while you can give your energy to them, or they give their energy. Both the energies typically mix. If I'm picking up a phone, this phone's electric energy, the energy that's going through this phone and the energy in my body are actually mixing together. So just like that with the crystal, the crystal's energy mixes with your energy, and thus protecting you, or protecting you from negative vibes, or giving you positive vibes, or whatever, or bringing in love, the love energy, the frequency of love, or whatever the crystal does. So crystals are useful, definitely useful. I've used crystals before in my life. That is the idea of that is the science of using crystals, the understanding that they're coming from the earth, and they are pure, and they are not touched with, they are not messed with, their energy is intact. And so when you take a crystal and put it in your pocket and roam around with it, that crystal's energy protects you in a certain way. And that is crystals. I've used crystals before. Like I said, the big crystal that she gave me was mind changing, and in those 15 days I felt my energy going to the crystal, and the crystal's energy came to me. And eventually I got instructions from that tarot lady to go and throw the crystal in the sea, so that the crystal can be cleansed by the ocean. So crystals have this powerful way of giving their energy to you, or protecting you, or doing whatever they usually do. And you want to also Google the different types of crystals that you want to have, depending on what you need, and what you need help with. And crystals are extremely useful. Definitely Google that, definitely use that. They're not costly at all, and you can just we can just buy a small pebble of the crystal that you'd like. I used black tourmaline at one point, to ward off negative energies, effective. And I took it and put it in my pocket, and I was just roaming around with my pocket wherever. I mean, it was in my pocket, and I was roaming around, and it was there in my pocket wherever I went. Crystals. Number 2 was crystals, and super effective. Check it out, use it. Number 3, this is not for all, but for those who are already in this process of seeing and understanding synchronicities and repeating numbers. Oh wow, repeating numbers help me even today. Repeating numbers and synchronicities even help me today. Synchronicities and repeating numbers are like a message, like a communication method towards the universe. It's like a new language that you're using to communicate with the universe. Typically the universe is trying to communicate with you through these synchronicities and repeating numbers. And it's just like, I've mentioned this once before, I guess, in my videos. It's about like joining the dots. So when you think about something, and if you see a synchronicity is probably telling you like, okay, that is how it is. And what you thought was probably right. It kind of shows you the message that connects with your thought. And repeating numbers also help in this process. If you're saying repeating numbers often, you're not crazy. You have a bunch of people who also say repeating numbers, including me. First time I thought I was saying repeating numbers, I thought I was nuts, but I was not nuts. I went on YouTube and I found out I was not nuts. The repeating numbers can be super effective, and repeating numbers have meanings to it. Like I'll quickly tell you my repeating numbers meanings. For me, it may or may not be the same for you, and the best way to find out, some repeating numbers are kind of the same, like 555 change is coming is like kind of the same for most people, but some repeating numbers may not. And the best way to find out is to take the repeating number and put it into your actual translation in your reality, and see if it fits the message that was coming through, or the thought that you were thinking. Is to try and test it in reality. Is to really try and test it in reality. Could it be this or could it be that? Try and test it. If it made sense, it was probably, if it didn't make sense, it was probably not it. So like for me, it was 111 was pay attention, 222 is pay attention to your decision, and it also could mean like twin flames, duality. 333 is align your mind, body, and soul. For some, it can also mean love. And 444 is stability, groundedness, stable, pretty much. The Capricorn energy, like grounded, earth energy, pretty much. Groundedness, stability, firm, staying grounded. 555 is change is coming. 666 is, see, that 555 is pretty universal. Like I don't think anybody has had something different from change is coming. 666 is like pay attention to your thoughts. All this is for me, yeah, and I'm just sharing mine with you so that you can use it, and then from there you can maneuver. You can try and test it in your reality. 666 is thoughts is coming. I mean, thoughts, pay attention to your thoughts. It can also mean receive love, receive the love that you're getting. 333 is create love, and 666 could be receive love. It could be. And 777 is the universe. Angels are there to help you out. All this is for me, okay? 888 is abundance is coming. This is also a popular one. This is a common one generally. 888 means abundance, and abundance is on its way. And 999 means the cycle is ending. This is also a common one. 999, that the cycle is ending. Something is coming to an end. Maybe a karmic cycle, a regular cycle, whatever it is, coming to an end. 000 is a new cycle is starting. And 111 is also pay attention. 111 can also mean that the cycle is starting, but it's more like 000 is like a new cycle is starting. Repeating numbers, okay? And synchronicities are also like, so when you see a repeating number, let's say you say something like 333 and it tells you align your mind, body, and soul, and then maybe you see a synchronicity. Maybe you think a thought, and then you think a thought, and then it's not a good thought. It's a thought that is like is destructive thought, and so you see the numbers 333, and then probably you see like a danger sign, or you see like a warning sign on the TV. That is a synchronicity. So you, all that you're doing is you're joining these dots, and you're understanding, oh, maybe I shouldn't be thinking about this. Maybe if I continuously think about this thought, it's going to manifest, and it's not good for me. It's a destructive thought. So this is how synchronicities and repeating numbers work, but you have to be open to it. If you're not open to it, it does not work. So you have to be open to it and try joining the dots. And this comes after some time, after some practice. It just naturally comes. You naturally know what is a synchronicity, why is it happening, and all this kind of stuff, because you'll be joining the dots. That's synchronicities and repeating numbers. Okay. Fourth one is affirmations. Okay. Fourth one is affirmations. Affirmations are super useful. Affirmations, I would put affirmations and visualizations together, okay, because they are both guiding in the same process. And there was this time when I used an affirmation, and wow, it just came true. I was not happy, and I wanted to become happy, and I wrote I am happy on a whiteboard, and it was in front of my bed. And so every time I woke up, I saw that. And one day I had this interview with a lady with this VIP kids, and I had to, pretty much in that interview, my job role was to teach kids from China, very young kids, like preschool kids. And from China online, I had to teach them, and that was my job role. So I went for the interview. I had to buy different things, and like color up, decorate my surroundings for the interview. So because they want to see me the way I would interview a kid, or I mean not interview, the way I would teach a kid. So they wanted to see me that way. So they had it in the instructions as to like, hey, you know you want to decorate your camera view so that we can see you, what you can present to the kid, and we can have an interview with you as well at the same time. So I went to the store, bought all kid stuff, bought a plant, bought all happy stuff, happy cushions with smiley faces and all these things. But I wasn't thinking really. I was thinking, oh, kid stuff, gotta buy. So I bought all these things, all these $1 stuffs. And I went to my room, decorated my room with all these things, and So I had this interview, and when I sat for the interview, I was like, dude, okay, I don't have the patience to teach these kids. This interview is really tough. All that is going in this interview is really tough. This is not my cup of tea. I knew this was not my cup of tea. Me teaching these Chinese kids is not gonna work, and it was just out of my league. And I was like, okay, fine, this interview. Then I finished the interview. The interview lady was also like not interested, and she kind of like figured, okay, this guy's not up for it. This guy's not gonna be doing well. So they told the interview bye and whatever. Closed the laptop. When I closed the laptop and I looked around my room, my room looked so different. My room looked wow. It was like wow. It was like walking into like a museum. I looked around my room and I felt so happy because there were so many things that were joyful, and it was like a kid's room like that, and it was making me feel so joyful, so happy. And then I looked back at the whiteboard, and then it said, "I am happy." The thing that I had written, I'm like, oh my god, this affirmation came true. Like, I didn't even notice, I didn't even realize I was going to this path, but this interview and all this thing probably happened just for me to go and, lighten up my room and bring in the vibe of happiness into my room. And so it did, so it happened. And that was my first time using an affirmation, and that was awesome. And so affirmations are like that. Also, when you use affirmations, you can start small. Just recently I like start small, just recently I downloaded a game, a cricket game, and I wanted to also, while I was playing, I wanted to test out this affirmations again. It also helps with manifestation. This is also manifestation, guys. So I was thinking, okay, I gotta reach the score 70. And I gotta reach a score of 70. I gotta reach a score of 70. I gotta reach a score of 70. In like my second or third try, I was not even paying attention much to the game, but I was constantly hitting that number of 70. I went 72, 77. I was constantly hitting it, and that's why visualization also comes in. When you're using your affirmations, you also want to use visualizations along with that. When you write "I am happy" and paste it on the wall, you want to think about happiness. If you're trying to manifest something and it's on your wall as an affirmation, you want to visualize that. You want to keep visualizing that. The bigger things take time to come, the smaller things come fast. That's why I'm telling, always try a smaller thing, like Leeor Alexandra. If you've ever checked out her YouTube page, she tells you, start with a small cup of coffee, start manifesting with a small cup of coffee. And that's true, because it's something very small, a free cup of coffee. Just like think about it, and you want to have laser focused visualization. Don't doubt yourself. Don't get into the process of bringing in any thoughts that is going against these visualizations, but just let it be and visualize it every day. And the affirmation is there to see those words, and so that those words energy can be your energy someday. That's what an affirmation is. Usually when I say usually when I'm happy, then I can, the energy comes out from that, and then you can write it on a piece of paper. But an affirmation is the opposite. You're writing "I am happy," and the words that "I am happy" creates this energy, and you're reading it every day to bring in that energy of happiness. Because when you read happiness, you think happiness, you think about happiness, and when you're thinking about happiness, you're bringing in that energy closer towards you. Affirmations and visualization. Visualize the affirmation pretty much every day, and affirmations, write it down. And when you write down something, you put meaning to it, and when you put meaning to it, your thoughts are going into it, and so energy is flowing in the direction. That's how affirmations work, and visualizations add on to it, because you're picturizing how it would be, what it would be, where you would be, blah blah blah, in relation to the affirmation. Affirmation and visualizations, very helpful. You'll see it as one of the key things in many videos, and many people talk about it. It's also super helpful in manifestation. Alright guys, and the next one. The fifth one is 4 elements that I used, and these have mentioned it before, and these are earth, water, air, and fire. Being in the presence of earth, water, air and fire helps give more clarity to your thoughts and to whatever answer you're seeking. So this was a part of the weed thing that I talked about in the last video. But just to give a more better understanding of this, earth, water, air and fire. Earth, water, air and fire. There's also spirit. That's the cosmos that you can be in. So earth is being around plants. Earth is natural, just like I talked about the crystals coming from earth. Earth has this natural energy to it. Plants have their roots deep under the soil and get their water and all that from there as well. And they use the leaves use sunlight to make their food using photosynthesis. So the energy that is surrounded within a plant is pretty much a mix of earth and water and air and life, fire, all these things. So being around plants, being the earth element of it, being around plants, being around nature is super effective and super useful. It just feels really good because you're around an energy source that is very, very pure, that is plants. And especially if it's like plants that have not been around mankind much. If you're going to a park, beautiful places to be, a lot of plants. So when you're around earth, when you're around plants, when you're around nature, it brings you more clarity to your thoughts, and thoughts just keep coming in. Like the answers to your questions come in. And that is about being around earth. Air is being like, let's say you're in a terrace. I walk on my terrace often, and I do this often because my terrace is open, and it's open to all it's elevated from the ground level. Obviously it's above a building, and it's the top of a building, and it's open to so much of air. And when this air is another natural element which helps with clarity and thoughts and understanding. All these elements are natural elements, they're high vibrational elements, and when you're with these high vibrational elements, you get the answers you're seeking for a little faster. It's like this energy comes into you, it's like downloaded into you. Same concept, positive, negative wants more positive energy from the positive being. Just like that, if some energy is more higher than us, and it's usable, like these four elements, we can use it. So air, being in an open atmosphere and being in a elevated area. Even if you go to hill stations and all, you'll notice that hill stations are so cool, so chill out there. And it's so nice. It's so nice to be in a hill station. It's so nice to be at like a mount. It's like a vacation spot, and it's pretty much because the vibe over there in these elevated areas is very, very good, because you're getting clean and clear air. You're not getting any polluted air. You're getting a nice air, and you're getting a nice energy from this air. It's not been influenced by so many human beings, and so it is helpful. It is helpful to bring in those thoughts. And the third thing that segment is water. Water helps cleanse things. If you want, you can take a shower, and when you take a shower, you get all these thoughts coming in. It's because your body is being cleansed of all the energy, and hence this fresh new energy from water is coming. Even drinking a lot of water is really good, and showers are really good. Baths are really good. They would also tell you to take an Epsom salt, like a salt bath. Epsom salt bath is because it just helps you clean out the energies that are not helping you, and when that is done, you have more clarity to bring in newer energies. So water is also one of the pure elements, and a shower can definitely help you bring in that energy. And fire is sunlight, or even a warm fire, like a fire with wood, like with wood on it. a fire made from wood, or because again wood is earth, and if you have like a fireplace and you're close to a fireplace, or if you're looking at the sunlight and you're taking in the energy of the sunlight, it's also good. All these are pure elements, and so you can use it. So I'm going to give you 2 bonuses. The first bonus is Ho'oponopono. Okay, this is a Hawaiian forgiveness technique, and it's called Ho'oponopono. Okay, and together, Ho'oponopono together as one word. And this has been used by Hugh Len, a doctor, in the past. And what he did was, when he used this technique, in a hospital with patients, and he didn't really use it with them. Like, he didn't personally go to them and tell them, hey, do this technique, but he took their medical records at a distance, another place, and he looked at their pictures and their name, and he set an intent on them, and then he did this technique with their medical records alone, and they seemed to heal. They got better after a few days and after doing that. And pretty much what he did was like what an energy healer would do, what a Reiki healer would do. Since we are all one, consciousness, it's possible to do distant energy healing. And what he did was healing on the patient's behalf, without even seeing them, without even coming in contact with them, but just by looking at their records and using this Ho'oponopono technique. Okay, and this is possible, and this can be done because distant energy healing itself is possible. Well, I myself received the distant energy healing from the Sandra Tarot lady that I went to, that I talked about earlier. And so he did this method using these records. And what is Ho'oponopono? What is the technique itself? It consists of 4 parts. It's I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Now, since we are all one creation, we are all one, I can visualize on something, I can put my intent on somebody and heal them from here, from me being here, just by thinking about them and thinking about their name, their personality, a picture of them, whatever, and sending energy towards them. So when he did this technique, he said these 4 things: I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And let's go into this. Okay, so let's say he's taking a patient's file and he's saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you can do this with your own self, and it's pretty effective. So when he's saying I am sorry, he's pretty much, so when he's looking at a patient and he's saying these things, like he is the patient, he's taking up the patient's energy himself. Like he's taking the patient's and he's taking responsibility pretty much for the patient's energy, and he's doing this on the patient's behalf. And you can also do it towards yourself. Now, the technique that I'm telling you, you probably want to do it towards yourself. And this is to heal parts of it. Let's say you have anger, or you have stress, or you have some negative feeling that's pulling you down, fear or whatever. And typically what you're doing here is you're telling, I'm sorry. This is either for you or for somebody else. You're telling, I am sorry that you are sorry. Why are you sorry? I am sorry that I let this happen in the first place, pretty much. I'm sorry that I had to accept this energy of negativity into me in the first place, pretty much. I'm sorry. You're literally talking to creation. You're literally talking to the universe, and you're saying, I am sorry to accept this energy. Please forgive me. Please forgive me that You're telling your own body, if you're healing your body, if you're healing somebody else's body, you're taking up their energy into yours, and you're telling that energy, please forgive me. Like you're telling the body, please forgive me that I actually took this energy in. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I took this energy in. And thank you. Thank you for being my temple. Thank you for making me here, bringing me here this far. Thank you for containing me, for having me. Thank you, and I love you. I love you, as you're telling your own body, and you're telling the source, the creation of whatever is holding you, your body, the cells in your body. You're telling, I love you. So do it like this. You can, when you're doing it for yourself, you can look at yourself, and if you're doing it for somebody else, you can visualize that person actually telling these things to himself. And please, sorry, I'm sorry, please forgive me. You're saying this because you let in that energy of negativity, or that stress, or that this thing reside in you, and which you know is not beneficial for you and your body and your mind. So you're saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you for holding me, and oh body, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And you keep saying this, you keep saying this, you keep saying this. You keep saying this like 2-3 times, or about like 10 times. And you say it, but the most important part is the intention, the meaning that you're giving it, and you're understanding that you're talking to your body, and you're telling your body that you're sorry that you let this in, forgive me, I like you more, I love you, and thank you for holding me. So forgiveness is a very healing concept, and it's a very healing method. And it's like when you forgive somebody else, you're actually healing yourself by letting go of that energy. And pretty much the same thing is happening with the body. When you're asking the body for forgiveness, the body is forgiving you, and it's letting go of the pain, it's letting go of the fear, it's letting go of that energy that's not benefiting you. That is Ho'oponopono. Check it up online, and it's a very effective method. And bonus number 2. Bonus number 2 is something I've used. I kind of still use it sometimes nowadays, and it's just tarot readings. It's pretty much tarot readings. If you're feeling called to go see a tarot reading, if you go online, or if you in relation to your zodiac sign, pretty much you want to type Pisces tarot, and then you get a lot of people who do tarot readings, and you can click on the one that you feel resonates with you. You feel that you're urged to see, and you can see it. How do people do tarot reading? A lot of people channel information that comes in through them, and the cards that they put out, tarot cards, usually helps them channel the information that is coming to them for the person who is actually seeing the video. So if you're a particular zodiac sign, I'm Pisces, so let's say Pisces, so they would say like Pisces for July 2020, Pisces July, or August 2020, Pisces August 2020, and they would bring in, pretty much what they're doing is they're letting source energy travel through them and speak to their audience through the cards and through their intuitive messages that they're getting. So it's pretty much like a way of it's like an energy that is coming into your life and telling you the options and the forks and the paths that you might have in the future. So that's tarot readings, and that's how tarot readers work, by channeling source energy to them, and they also use the cards to interpret the messages. And that is something you can check out if it works for you. It's worked for me before, and I still do check it out sometimes, time and again. You also need to understand that many tarot readers might still be under the influence of fear and negative energies, so their perceptions might be a little skewed and a little different. So if you want to go for a tarot reader, go for a tarot reader who's high vibrational and who is like, spiritually inclined, or is high vibrating, is on a positive note, so that they can channel in the positive things that you can do, rather than having to go like if I feel fear, then I'm going to speak more about fear and more about how the tarot reading, it's going to come through my own filters pretty much. So a person who's high vibration will have lesser filters and will know more of the truth. And so you want to take that into consideration when you're seeing a tarot reading. That's about it, guys. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell notification. And you can also book a session with me by reaching out to me on social media or my flow page, flow.page/theawakenedreality. And I'll wrap it up with this. Bye.